Thanks for joining me today. This is Danny, and welcome back to my modded 1.9 series. Today we are going to take to the sky. We are going to fly. Compliments of NeoTech. We're going to trade in this vanilla iron armor for something that's going to allow us to add some more features. There's really actually only two ways to fly in this mod pack. One of them is a tech way, and the other is a magical way. We are going to be doing the tech way today because we're doing NeoTech. So the first thing we're actually going to have to do, really, in order to get into NeoTech, is start generating some RF. Believe it or not, we've managed to get a tree farm up. We have ore doubling. We've got a automated farm, and we've got a automated cow farm, all without generating a single unit of redstone flux. Thanks to the furnace mod and progressive automation, which allow the machines to be run by anything that you can stick in a furnace. There are two generators in NeoTech. There is the furnace generator and there's the fluid generator. We are going to make the furnace generators. As you can see, it's not terribly expensive, so I don't remember exactly how much this thing does. I think it's maybe 40 RF per tick. I actually disabled my tree farm so that we would have some more room over here, and because I think if we have enough time today, we're going to replace it with a NeoTech farm, because this thing was causing crazy lag, and we've got enough stuff for now anyway. So here we go, 20 RF per tick. We'll grab some charcoal. That's one of the reasons that we have a tree farm, so that we can do this. Let's see, this thing stores 32,000 RF. We are also going to want to make some way to store RF, and we may as well do that right away. And we'll just start with the basic RF storage. So we're going to need 2 of these batteries. We're going to be making a lot of these batteries today for a lot of different things. So we'll do this. We'll do this right here once. It's just this, a couple silver, a couple lead, and a couple iron. And then there's several different tiers of batteries. This one holds 25,000 RF, and it's what we'll need for our first tier of storage. There's an advanced that holds 100,000, and there's an elite that holds 1,000,000. The RF storage is 32,000, 512,000, and 4,096,000. So I think the basic is going to be enough today, I hope. But we will see. Well, this is interesting. It requires that the batteries be charged. What? What? What am I missing here? How can you charge the battery if you don't have the storage? Let's just try to make it once and see what happens. So this is a dual crafter I just made. It's made with 2 crafting tables and a chest. And we have 2 crafting tables. So that we can set up one recipe over here. It's going to be, we'll just set it up manually and see what happens. I don't know. We've got 4 iron in the corners. Oh, I wonder which crafting table it's going to. Okay, so it uses the one on the left. So, okay. So let's just see what happens here. 4 iron, 2 lead, and a block of redstone. Okay. So it works, but JEI doesn't do an autocomplete for you because it doesn't recognize. Alright, so there we have it. Basic RF storage. We can set this guy right here, and it will pull all of the RF out of here, like pretty much instantly. That's interesting. Okay, and yeah, cool. So we're going to need some way to move the RF around, of course. And I should mention that one of the reasons that I do want flight today is because I plan on building a base very soon, and I want flight before I start building my base, just because it makes base building much easier. So what we want to do is we want to make a full set of electric armor. I don't think we're going to do the sword and pickaxe. I did that in my FTB Unstable 1.8 series. If you want to see that, I'm sure we'll do it at some point, but I'm not going to do it today. Just because we have some pretty good Tinker's stuff right now, and I actually plan on playing a little bit more with these and maybe maybe even having another episode where we play around with that a lot. But we're going to need steel for everything. For all these, it's just the regular armor recipes with steel and then the batteries. So we're going to need a whole bunch of steel, which the only way to make steel is to make molten steel. And the only way to make molten steel is in an electric alloyer, which basically combines different metals to make alloys. And in this case, it combines molten iron with liquid carbon, which if we click on the liquid carbon, we'll see that that's what we get when we put charcoal in the electric crucible. So now how do we get the molten iron? Well, the same way. Electric crucible. The electric crucible is a lot like the Tinker smeltery. It takes metals and ores and it smelts them into... Wait, not ores, I'm sorry. Wait. It takes metals and smelts them into liquid. If you use ores in here, it will smelt them into dirty ores. We're not going to get into that today, but there is a process by which you can take the dirty ores and do ore doubling with them using the electric centrifuge. In fact, I think it's even possible to more than double them. So, so if you're wondering why would you want to go through all that trouble, that's why. So we're going to need, let's see, 5. Do we need? Basically, we'll probably no. We're not going to need 24 because. All right, we're going to need 23 because there's one less here. So normally you would need 24 to make a full set of any type of armor, but in this case we're going to need 23 because this one is replaced with the battery. See, we'll put this in here and we're going to get molten iron out of it. It's of course going to use some RF. And then we need to pipe that into our electric alloyer, which requires 2 tanks. We need some bronze. Okay. Oh, well. So bronze is made from copper and tin. Okay, but we can do that in the Tinker smeltery. Well, that's interesting. So if we didn't have Tinkers installed, we'd be stuck. Unless there's a way to do it with the powders. There is. Okay. All right, let's do this. This would be easier. So 3 copper and 1 tin makes bronze dust, and then we could just smelt that. So, oh boy. So we're going to have to, we'll use our pulvis, and we're going to tell it, no, that's fuel. We're going to tell it not to output, because otherwise, if we put tin in here, wait, what was it? Or copper, rather. It'll just, it'll turn it into copper dust. And then it'll put it over here, turn it back into ingots, and then put it in our chest. And of course, we don't want that. Okay, so here is the ingredients for our electric alloyer. I had to put this together manually because it would not pick up the empty iron fluid tanks for whatever reason. The JEI wouldn't recognize them as being the proper thing that we need. So now we have to get stuff. What? Oh. So we ran into a little problem. This is something that you're going to want to be aware of if you're working with any NeoTech machines, is that if we put an iron ingot in here, it's going to start pulling power out of our storage, which is going to pull power out of here. So we'll see this buffer will go down, this buffer will go down. You can see we're using RF much faster than we are producing it because this guy uses 100 RF per tick. The process time is 1,000 tick, which means in total this guy is going to require 100,000 RF to process a single iron ingot. Now that's a problem because, as you can see, we're not storing that much RF. And what's going to happen when this thing runs out is it's going to start all over again. And it's going to keep starting all over again every time it runs out of RF. So that means as long as this RF, or as long as this iron ingot is sitting in here, we will never have RF for anything ever again. It's just going to keep eating up our RF and doing nothing because it can't complete the operation. So we want to get that out of there and start over. So we're going to need more RF. And there's a couple different ways we can do that. We have our basic RF storage. We can upgrade that to the advanced storage, which will allow us to store 512,000 RF, which will allow us to do 5 of these at a time. We can also add a motherboard upgrade to this guy that will allow it to, let's see, if we give it hard drives, it multiplies the max energy stored by 10 multiplied by the number of hard drives. So we can increase the buffer in here by adding hard drives to a motherboard and then putting the motherboard in here. We're not going to do that quite yet because we're not equipped to do that quite yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade our basic storage to advanced. We could also go all the way to elite. However, we need steel for that, and that's actually what we're trying to do right now, is make steel. So here's our advanced RF storage. We had to make a couple of advanced batteries, which are made with the basic batteries. Oh, good. It kept the RF from the other one. So we'll stick that there and let that fill up. Once it's full, then we can make a few of these. So this is taking a really long time. I actually made a second furnace generator, but we're still only doing 40 RF per tick, which is it's too slow. So I've decided that it's time to make a thermal binder. It requires some slime. So fortunately, we visited the slime island the other day, a couple of furnaces and a block of redstone. This guy is going to allow us to upgrade our machines, and we want this thing to be very close, or probably even touching our storage. I'm just going to put it on top for now. And this guy allows us to do upgrades, and we are going to need this eventually anyway, so it's a good thing we made it. We're going to need a bunch of redstone. Okay, so what I want to do, the first thing I want to do is I want to beef up one of our generators. The generators, we can upgrade them, because currently it's generating 20 RF per tick. We can upgrade it with processors. Every processor we give it will add 10 RF per tick. We can add up to 8 processors, so we can get this thing up to 100 RF per tick. The hard drives increase the internal storage. We might want to do that multiplied by 10, the same as the machines, actually. So if you have 4 hard drives in here, it's going to multiply your storage by 40. The control and expansions we don't need. I really just want to speed this thing up. So what we have to do in order to upgrade any machine or pipe or anything else is to make a motherboard. Because as you can see, there's no expansion slots except for one, and it is a motherboard slot. So we put all the upgrades that we want in this motherboard using the thermal binder. But the thermal binder requires tin. So this little tank thing over here is a tin tank. So let's see, we've got 400. Let's do 4 tin right away, because we've got enough RF to do that now. And it's going to make it into tin, molten tin. So we have our motherboard, and then whatever upgrades that we want for our motherboard. And there's 4 different types of upgrades. There is the processor upgrade. This is the most expensive, but it's because it requires a diamond. Let's do. I almost want to do a full upgrade on this thing, but I don't think we have enough redstone. You know what? Let's think about it. Let's get that much redstone. Let's go all the way. You know what? It would probably be cheaper for me to just make more of these machines. And that, you know what? That's all I'm going to do is just the processors. And then, so now we have, let's see, we have 144 millibuckets. Let's just do 3 more. This thing doesn't use a whole lot of tin. And then I have some fluid interface pipes. So we make a white structure pipe. We did this a couple episodes ago. It's just basically glass and iron. And then from that, we can make our different interface pipes. We have an energy item and fluid. In this case, I obviously made a fluid pipe. We can use our NeoTech wrench. And tell it to extract from here. So now if we look in here, we should see that the tin is gone, because it's now in here. So the thermal binder, similar to everything else, it requires a lot of RF. So the upgrades, that's really where your upgrade cost. Ooh, that looks really weird. That's where your upgrade costs really come from, is the cost of RF. Well, I guess in this case, the processors are pretty expensive as well. But we put the processors in here. We put the motherboard here. We can put the other upgrades in here as well, like the hard drives, the control, and the expansion, which do different things in different machines. In this case, the control usually gives it redstone control and sometimes other types of control as well. And the expansion usually allows you to control the input output. So in this case, it's going to be 16. It's going to take 1600 ticks. Let's see, how much RF per tick? 200 RF per tick. So we need 32,000 RF to do this. We have more than enough. In fact, yeah, okay. So, and it's going to pull it pretty quickly, so you want to make sure, like I said, you want to make sure you either have pipes that are fast enough to keep up with your 200 RF per tick, or be right next to a storage. So I don't know how much molten tin it requires, but I'm fairly sure that it does not require 432. So we should be safe to start, and this is going to take 1600 ticks. While we're waiting for that, I'm going to stop recording. Right, it's done. So we have a filled motherboard with 8 processors. We put that in this slot, and we're going to see that jump to 100 RF per tick, but it's also going to use more more fuel. So we'll have to make sure we keep that full. I should probably have a hopper or something, or a chest on here. Of course, we would need an expansion slot if we wanted to use a chest. Cool. Now we're wow. What happened to all our RF? I think I miscalculated. I'm glad we're lucky that finished, because I'm pretty sure I miscalculated how much RF was going to be required for that. 200. Oh, I was thinking 20. Yeah. Wow, because we almost ran out of RF. Holy crap. Okay. So you know what? We're now producing 100 RF per tick, which means this guy can keep up. So we can just dump our iron in here now, and it should be fine. It shouldn't run out. And then we also have this producing 20. So we're actually producing 120 RF per tick. And we have a little bit of liquid iron, or molten iron, and of course we can get it over here the same way we got our tin into our thermal binder, and that is with our fluid pipes. There's another way to do it too. We could actually add an expansion upgrade to this, to a motherboard in here that would give us I/O, so that we could do things, so that we would get a little interface like this one, so that we could say output directly to the electric alloyer, and then we wouldn't need pipes between them. So while we're waiting for this, this would be a good time for us to make the next step of the process, because once we get our liquid steel in here, we've got to be able to get it out, and we have to be able to turn it into ingots. So that is what the solidifier is for. Interesting little saver for you. The energy usage and process time, it doesn't change between ingots and blocks. So you may as well use blocks, because it's going to cost you the same. It's going to take the same amount of time, and you get 9 times as much stuff. Smelting up some coal, and that is bringing liquid carbon in here. So we are ready to make steel, but we need some power. So I made a couple of energy interface pipes. These, of course, are just the structure pipes with a block of redstone each. So we're going to pull power out of there. We can just put a regular structure pipe here, because we don't need to bring power into the electric crucible, because it's getting it directly from that. But then we do need power over here. Oops, over here. And by default, these pipes do input. They do not extract by default, so we do have to go in here and say extract. And now this guy should start running. Oh, you know what? We have a problem, though. We're not producing enough RF to run both of these machines at the same time, so we'll have to keep an eye on our power. this one is done. Okay, good. Ooh, I found a village. Nice. I decided to do a little exploring while I was waiting and waiting and waiting for the machines to do their work. Oh, I don't need that. That's right. I can use this as an axe. So I'm going to go check that out. Certainly not the best loot I've ever seen, but I'll take it. Obsidian, more apples, iron boots, sure, why not? What do we got here? An armorer. Huh? Well, I don't have any coal, but I will come back. That's a good trade. Definitely. Oh, it looks like we've got another armorer over here. Oh, a toolsmith. What? Here's the same trades. This one says toolsmith, but when I look in the thing it says armorer. That guy said armorer in Wayla. And it said weaponsmith when I look at this. That's interesting. Oh, and you want paper? Oh, nice. Definitely. Ooh. Definitely have a good source of emeralds here. Okay, I'm back. And we have 1296. I think that's about a block. In fact, I think it's a little more than a block. So now we can start piping this in over here. Oh, I hope it doesn't. We'll have to have some kind of filtering set up here, but in the future. And it gets right to work. So now this is turning our molten steel into a block. Oh crap. Again, we have to watch our RF. So we're now using 200 RF per tick. We're only producing 120. So have to keep an eye on that, because if we do run out of RF, everything's going to get screwed up. And everything will have to start over again. We're almost there. Yay, we have a block of steel. Can we? Oh, okay. Okay, so looks like it's gonna not do anything until it has enough for a block. Hooray, we have our first steel. Nice. So we can put this guy in here and turn it into ingots. And then I'm gonna clean up my inventory. Yay. It's our first two pieces. As you can see, these do require RF. They have the little bar. 25,000 each they can hold. We can upgrade those with bigger batteries. And they will use RF instead of durability. So this armor will last forever. I have a full set now. So let's get rid of this stuff. Put this on. So the first thing we might notice is that we have iron protection. So there are quite a few upgrades that we can give these guys. We have the sprinting upgrade that we can put in our boots. Or actually, I think that's the legs. We could put those in the legs, and that will make us go faster. All the ones that have a little helm there are apply to armor. So we have the Elytra upgrade. We have the protection upgrade, which will increase the protection. It's basically like the protection enchant. And then we have the night vision upgrade for the helm. We have the jetpack upgrade, which is what we're after today. And look at how cheap it is. That's all we need, and we'll be flying. We're almost there. We have the hover upgrade so that we don't fall. Of course, we could wear our rubber rubber boots if we wanted to. And we have a fall resistance. And each armor we can give up to 10, or each piece we can give up to 10 upgrades. So the first thing, of course, I want is the jetpack upgrade. And I just happened to kill a chicken too, and I managed to get one feather. Probably should have brought the chicken home, because the chickens will shed feathers with the quark mod. Sure, we'll make 8 motherboards. Why not? Oh crap, they don't stack. Oh, we don't need... Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Okay. Alright, so let's start with our jetpack upgrade. Hooray! And then the hover upgrade. Oh, we had just enough gunpowder. Nice. Fall resist, we're definitely going to want that. Let's get... I wonder if it's going to let us use congealed slime, or if we have to use the vanilla. Let's see, fall resist. What? Oh, it's 9 slime blocks, okay. Okay. There's our fall resist. Sprinting, we definitely want at least... Oh, we need more feathers. Crap. Okay, so we won't be able to do that one quite yet. We could do a couple of protection upgrades. Ooh, those are expensive. Wow. Let's just do one for now. And then I'll probably end up maxing them out eventually. But right now, let's just do... Let's start with our chest. Plate. And let's get the stuff that I really want. The jetpack, the hover. Let's just throw a protection in there. It's 600 ticks. 120,000. Okay, so we have plenty. Hooray, it's done. Alright, let's check this out. Oh, that made a lot of noise. So, oh, I thought there was a visual thing with the jetpack, but I guess not. Oh. Whoa, 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 whoa. How do we turn the hover on? We need to figure out how to turn the hover on. Nice. Oh, it's fast. It's like, it goes up very quickly. Whee! But we definitely need hover because this is kind of silly. Although I'm sure hover will take a lot more RF. Nice. Oh, this is really nice. And it kind of gives you a jump boost because every time you jump, it kicks in the jetpack. Oh boy. Oh, and check this out. We hit the G key, and we get this. 3 out of 10 upgrades, and we can continue to upgrade this thing. If we can put it back in there and add more upgrades to it until we reach 10. Oh, wow. We're almost out of RF. We're going to want to carry a battery with us, and I think we can upgrade that too with a battery. Oh, control to hover. Oh, okay. Oh, shoot. What? Oh, come on. It's my server. Okay, I need to fix my server. Be right back. Okay, so I've removed fall damage. I have protection 1 on those. It removes fall damage. So I guess it's not just like feather falling. Feather falling 1, 2, 3 or whatever. We just need 1 and it removes fall damage. That is nice. So it's basically like our slime boots. But let's I really wish this interface showed you your armor slots. Okay. There we go. Whee! Whoa. There's our hover. No fall damage at all. Nice. None. Whee! Oh, that seems wrong. I'm not real crazy about the way the hover works, though. But that's okay. This will actually be just fine for building, and that's really what I wanted this for building. And when we get into Britannia, we'll have better flight. So we now have flight. That was what we set out to do today. But I do want to speed things up, though, because when we're moving around and hovering, we're really slow. I think, yeah, we're about walking speed. Okay, so there's one more upgrade I want. Besides a whole bunch of protection upgrades, I want the sprinting upgrade. I thought I did this already. Oh, I need feathers. Oh, crap. Okay, I'm going to go find some chickens, and I might stick one in my boat and bring it back here. Sprinting upgrade being applied to my leggings. I'm also going to apply the Elytra upgrade. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I have a feeling it's for gliding, since that's what the Elytra gives you. So let's just add that. And also, I made an advanced RF battery that we're just going to carry in our inventory to keep our stuff charged, but we can actually put that here, and it will increase the amount of RF that each unit can store. Eventually, I'm going to do that with all of my armor, but for the time being, I'm just going to keep an advanced battery in my inventory. In fact, I'll charge it up. Hopefully, we've got enough to do both of these things. Yes, we do. There. So now that thing will keep everything else charged. So let's check this out now. If we hit G, everything's on. So we're... Oh, wow! Holy crap! Oh, we don't have step assist though. Oh, bummer. I wonder how we can get step assist. I wonder if that exists. Wow. So how do we use the Elytra? Let's see. If we hover, it might tell us. Control to hover, L menu glide in the air. Okay, it's the left alt key. So does this make us fly faster? It doesn't. Oh, I was hoping that would make us fly faster. Oh, that's a bummer. So if we hit the option key, or the alt key rather, there we go. Nice. Whoa. Oh, look at that. Nice. Oh, nice. I like that. Oh yeah, this is a nice way to get around. When we have speed enabled, it does take power even when we're not using it. Or even when we're just standing still. That's interesting. I wonder if that's a bug or if that's intended. Recipes for the armor are still being balanced out. So some of these upgrades, which are quite cheap at the moment, are probably going to get more expensive. So I don't know how much more expensive. I mean, there kind of already is somewhat of a cost involved when you're, as far as like the startup cost, but it's like once you have all the infrastructure in place, it's crazy cheap. I hope you enjoyed this. I really did. I really like this NeoTech armor. It's pretty freaking awesome. We will play a lot more with NeoTech in the future. In the next episode, I'm going to do a base build. If you did enjoy this, if you did, please don't forget to click the like button. And if you have any questions, comments, or whatever, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And I hope you join me next time. Thanks for watching.